Welcome back to Amanda's Playbook, where we unpack how to build influence in the world today. And I know what you're thinking. For those of you who've watched previous videos, haven't I said that luxury isn't about being expensive? Correct. And I meant it. Today, I want to show you how price isn't the enemy of experience. It's actually part of the experience. Okay, I want to start with wine, because all great business conversations start with wine. You can try this experiment at home. So let's talk about one that I've done with friends. We do a wine tasting. There's 5 different red wines, and every guest gets a sheet of what the wines are and the price point of the bottle. And then 4 of the sheet look like they're mid-tier wines, around the same price. But one of the wines is $40 more than the other 4. So then we proceed, and everyone does the things, right? They do the swirling and the sipping and the usage of terms like oak forward and all these things that I don't really know what they mean, but they sound really smart and good. Then everyone has to pick a favorite. What do they think is the best wine? Everybody ends up pointing to, guess what? The wine that was $40 more than the rest. But here's the thing, that $40 more wine was actually the same as one of the other mid-tier wines. The only difference was the price. So there's actually a principle that was developed by an economist named Thorsten Veblen. I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name properly, Veblen. They call it Veblen goods now, because one of the things that he argued was that he figured out that humans love things that are more expensive. The more it costs, the more people want it. Is that logical? Is that rational? No. But a lot of the decisions we make are largely psychological, all of them. And then we back them up with rational, logical arguments and thoughts. They want to feel better. And price is part of that spell. It is part of the experience. Okay, that's wine. Okay, that one seems very obvious. Another study that was done was on painkillers. There's lots of studies on this, but one in particular that demonstrates this very well is a placebo painkiller. We have 2 different groups of people. They are both given a placebo painkiller after a procedure, and that painkiller is not actually medication, it's just a candy pill. And the first audience is told that that painkiller costs like 10 cents, and then they're asked to rate the pain an hour after they take it. The other group is told that the painkiller costs several dollars, and then they're asked to rank their pain. Okay, you can probably see where this is going. Both of them are placebos. The group that was told the painkiller only cost 10 cents, not even 60% said that it worked. Whereas the painkiller that was several dollars, over 85% of the people said that it was strong, it worked. Both placebos. So it's fascinating because it doesn't just happen at dinner parties. It happens with something as real and as serious as pain, physical, real pain. But it's the same pill. The only difference is price, but yet there's a totally different experience. Why is that? And that's when they say that luxury is a feeling. That's what they mean. That's what we mean. Price is a priming tool for your brain. It's saying this is premium, pay attention. And I don't want to mistake this. This is not manipulation. It's about expectation. The price puts an expectation. If you deliver, great, boom. If the experience delivers, then you're golden. If you don't deliver, then people will never use you again, never buy your brand again, never invest in you again. So as a marketer, you dictate whether the experience matches the price and over-delivers or it doesn't. So how do you apply this? Well, you can increase your price, right? But no, just increasing the price alone won't do it. You also don't have to be luxury to do this. You can sell something that is a service, that is hand-rolled pasta, but if you price it like everything else, you're pricing it as a commodity. But if your price says, hey, this is refined, this is special, this is rare, this is unique, and your experience delivers, you're not just selling, you're imprinting. So ask yourself, what does your pricing mean? What does it indicate to people before they buy? And what emotional experiences are you creating to match that price? Price is narrative. If you want to charge more, you need to have a better story. It's like why there's a Philadelphia cheesesteak that it costs $1,000. Is it really marginally that much better than a cheesesteak that costs $20, $10? Probably not. But there's a narrative, there's a story. People live for the story, and then you deliver that with the experience to back it up. So my question to you is share this. Not my question, my ask to you, my favor, is to share this with somebody who either overcharges or undercharges and or drinks really cheap wine and calls it bright and oaky. And if you haven't yet, check out my video on Luxury Redefined. You will find it right here. See you next week, where we make business feel a little more human and a lot more influential.